Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Pulm Peeps. Thanks for tuning in. We are extremely excited today to be doing a preview of the CHEST 2024 annual meeting that's coming to Boston, where I am. I'm super pumped for everyone to come into town and for all the great content that's coming up. And we've done these preview episodes before, and they've always been a really big hit to get everyone primed for the conference. So we're excited to do it again. Christina, how you doing? You excited to take the trip up here?
Hey, yeah, super excited to see you. Most importantly, to see a lot of colleagues. I felt like our last Chess 2023 in Honolulu was amazing, but you were missing. So excited for us to be together in just a few weeks and be at an amazing conference.
Yeah, it's still a major regret of mine that I didn't get to enjoy the Hawaii experience, but I'll never miss another one again. So we are very privileged to be joined by two guests today. So we'll dive in and meet them. First, we have Sandhya Khurana. Sandy is a professor of medicine at the University of Rochester School of Medicine and director of the Mary Parkes Asthma Center. Her clinical and research interest is in asthma. She's also the vice program chair for CHEST 2024 and will be the program chair for CHEST 2025 next year in Chicago. Sandy, welcome to Poem Peeps. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks, Dave. Great to be here. Yeah, thanks so much, Sandy, and excited to as you start Chess 2024. I know you're already going to be planning for Chess 2025, but getting excited to have you join us and hear what you and Gabe are both excited about for this year. But next, to welcome back to Poem Peeps is Gabe Bosslet. Gabe joined us last year for our Chess 2023 preview. And Gabe, I know you work hard every day on many things, but I know that you've been working extremely hard on this conference since last year, as we talked about. You're the current program chair for CHEST this year. In addition to that, you're a professor of clinical medicine at Indiana University School of Medicine. You also serve as the assistant dean at IU, and you're the director of mentoring and faculty development for the Division of Pulmonary and Critical Care and Allergy and Occupational Medicine. Gabe, I don't know how you do what you do, but you do so many amazing things. And as first said earlier, just really glad to have you back on the show today.
I'm super excited to be back. It's really cool that you guys are doing this.
Awesome. I know Dave and I have a few questions we want to get your thoughts about. So hopefully people listening today can get them excited about the conference, maybe talk about some areas and different opportunities that may be planned that they could attend, specifically if this is for first time attendees. So I think a couple of things I want to hear what y'all are all looking forward to, but I think I'll mention briefly two things I'm looking forward to. One, I think, is a chess challenge, which is going to be on Tuesday night, October 8th. Last year was my first time I actually got to go to the chess challenge, and it's all the hype that everyone talks about. So three amazing teams of fellows in training with their program directors will be there, and super excited about that. I'm also excited, and hopefully Gabe or Sandy, you can talk a little bit more about this. But I think Chest as an organization and the planners were really, I think, innovative and creative when y'all brought Chest After Hours in a couple of years ago, and really and sharing that in a new and I think informative way. I haven't been able to attend any of those in person, but really looking forward to that this year. But Gabe, I'm going to go ahead and start with you. What are you looking forward to the most this year?
Christina, I'm going to pick up on the after hours that you ended with there. After hours came about first in Nashville a couple of years ago, and we had our second one last year in Honolulu. And this year, after hours is getting a real upgrade in that we're partnering with the Nocturnist podcast to do what's called the Nocturnist Satellites program. And what that means is they provided some support to those of us who are storyteller coaches, the coaches for storytellers. We have it at a separate venue. So whereas we've had it at the conference center in the last couple of years, this year it's going to be at a comedy club called Laugh Boston. And we'll have 5 storytellers, barring any huge problems. And I can tell you as one of the storytelling coaches that these storytellers have been working very hard. This is not a typical conference talk. This is something completely different. So if you've never been to a storytelling event before, this is not something you're going to find at any of the other pulmonary and critical care conferences. So this is Monday night, I think from 6 to 8 p.m. is what it's slated for, but we think it'll go more like an hour and 15, an hour and 20 minutes. And there will be music, there will be 5 storytellers, and it's gonna be awesome. I can't wait. This is a big step up from what After Hours has been in years past.
It's awesome. the last 2 years, and from what I've heard, as I said, I've never been to, but I just heard so many great things. So to imagine you thinking this is going to be a step up, I'm super excited. And hopefully, those listening today definitely can make sure we can check this out. Thanks for sharing your point, Gabe. And Sandy, I want to ask you, what are a couple of things that you're most looking forward to at this year's conference?
Yeah, thanks, Christina. And I think to add to Gabe's for this, the after hours, I would say my first time attending that was last year. And I've never attended anything like it. I would really invite people to come join and just experience this unique evening that Gabe and the storytellers have planned. Things that I think of chest is always, it puts a smile on my face every time it's coming close to chest. And that is just looking forward to meeting my chest friends and learning from them and teaching with them. And then just, it's more fun. It just is just a fun few days away from your day-to-day work. Even just spending time with my friends from work, outside of work is so much fun. So that's always a highlight. I think another special part about it, and Dave, you are in Boston, but for me, I think I'm so excited about Boston. I think I'm looking forward to exploring it. Chest has put together resources for people who want a little guide to know some highlights, where to go, but certainly reach out to your local friends and use them as a resource to go hit the places that you want to hit in Boston. Like you, I'm very excited about Chess Challenge. That's always fun. I think it takes that immersive sort of educational experience to another level. So I'm looking forward to that. That I believe is on Tuesday evening as well. And then I think just a speaker this year who is from Boston, but also the WHO sort of envoy for climate change and um, health. Looking forward to hearing that. So really, my schedule is I'm just going through the Chest Events app and just earmarking every day. There are so many multiple sessions that I want to attend. I want to attend them all at the same time. So it's been hard to pick and choose, but I'm trying to put aside some time to do that.
Yeah, totally. It's hard to narrow it down to just one. I feel like I'm going to be on the go for 5 days straight. And if anybody wants to explore Boston more and doesn't know what to do, reach out to me. I'll definitely meet you at some cool events. And yeah, seeing everybody, that's what I'm looking forward to. I think we can say here that you should tag on social media your BCB, your best chess buddy that you get to meet up with and hang out with. I'm excited to see Christina. We have a few sessions together. I also want to point out, I have to give a shout out to a wonderful trainee who I worked with, who's presenting an oral presentation on a project we work on about ICU mobility. And it's just so fun to see people that you know and trainees that you've mentored get to talk about their great work at Chess. So I'm really looking forward to that. One thing you guys touched on is that I think chess has been unbelievably innovative in the past few years, really trying. I think Chess Challenge has always been great. We have the storytelling, and I think they've always really been trying to push the envelopes of what we're doing at these conferences. So I'm curious if there's anything new at Chess 2024 that hasn't happened prior that we should be looking forward to. Uh, Gabe, I think I can start with you.
Yeah, that sounds great. As always, chess has been a leader in the gamification of education. And so that will continue this year. Escape rooms, tons of games around pulmonary critical care and sleep topics. And I think visiting the exhibit hall, doing some of the games is always one of the highlights for me. We're bringing back the 5K.
Nice.
So chess used to occasionally have a 5K. I'm a runner. When I took the position to be program chair, I said, listen, if we're going to Boston, we have to do a 5K. It's the home of the biggest marathon in the world. So that'll be on Tuesday morning. I'm super stoked about that. We've already talked about Chess Challenge. That's always a huge highlight. The thing about chess is there's something, and people don't often know this, but there's something every night for you to go and interact with people. So the meeting takes place during the day. There's a lot of education, but every evening there's some sort of networking thing going on. So on Saturday or on Sunday, there's the opening reception. On Monday, there's networks. What is Monday? The networks mixer and communities mixer. And then Tuesday is chess challenge. So literally like every night there's something to do for you to go and meet people. And all of that's not necessarily new, but to me, it's what forms the backbone of the chess meeting and makes it so awesome.
Yeah, definitely. Looking forward to all of those. I didn't actually realize about the 5K. I'm going to sign up, go do the 5K, come do a chest session, then run to clinic. It'll be a good busy day for
What a
me.
great day.
Yeah, totally. Sandy, anything to add?
I think there's all the special events that Gabe mentioned, but this year we've also Chest again has tried to make this educational sessions themselves more. We've tried to tag them and put them in certain tracks so that they are just easier to find topics that are of interest to you. Particularly, I would say there's the one that's new this year is, I believe it's new this year, is the APP recommended session. There is a core group of APPs who have tried to identify topics that they feel would be of interest. We've also last year in Hawaii for the pre-course courses, the pre-meeting courses, the PG courses that we used to call, we tried to separate them into postgraduate and then master class, where postgraduates were really more like foundational and master class was more of a deep dive. And this year we tried to delineate them even better, define them better. There's been a lot of work that the education committee has done on helping the course faculty to really make sure that the content and the pace is appropriate for the learners. So while there's a lot of work that's innovative, there's also a lot of work that's been done in further improving further like just excelling in that educational offerings that just is so well known, has such a great reputation to offer.
Oh, that's wonderful. It can be so hard to, especially if you're first time, for things to be accessible. So making it more accessible for everyone is incredible.
The other new thing that we're doing this year that we've never done actually ever at Chest is we will have Friends of Bill W meetings every day at Chest this year. And for those of you who don't know what Friends of Bill W is, I'll call it synonymous meetings. And this is important for me. I'm a recovering alcoholic. I'll be 3 years sober on November 1st. And so I'm hoping to go to every one of those meetings during the meeting. But this is something new we're doing this year, and I'm just really excited about it.
That is incredible. Thank you for sharing that with us, Gabe. Thank you for having those meetings. I think in this era where being a doctor and being well is increasingly so difficult, things like this are just hugely supportive of our whole community. So that's wonderful. Thanks so much for mentioning that.
Awesome.
So there's truly something for everyone at Chest. And yes, Gabe, as you were saying, there's something like every night. Like you definitely make it easy for the more introverted people to just go to something that's set up and people are going to be there. They're going to be nice, willing to talk. I also love that aspect about the conference. It's really easy to go to. And I forget, Gabe, you may have said this at one of the conference or one of the sessions last year too, but for those trainees or people that may be going for the first time, I remember you were like, just go to a room, just go up to someone and say hi and try to meet 3 new people per evening or per session, which I think is super doable. So excited to meet some new people and meet some new trainees along the way. I think another exciting thing that Ferk and I are really looking forward to is doing our first podcast in front of a live audience at Chess. And Dave and I will both be talking with Maria Smelios about her book, The Black Angels, the untold story of the nurses who helped cure tuberculosis. And this is going to be an amazing conversation. We've been in contact with her already, and she's really excited about it. And I think we're going to have a really wonderful episode. I also know we know there's a couple of other podcasts happening there as well. We definitely know the folks over at Critical Care Time and the Ed and Toddcasts, both amazing, and that we've been able to be fortunate to collaborate with. But Gabe and Sandy, just wondering in general, what led you to decide to have live podcasts this year from the conference?
I'm a podcast junkie. Honestly, if I'm driving in the car to work, I'm listening to a podcast. If I'm doing dishes in the evening, I usually have my AirPods in listening to a podcast. And it's such an integral part of my life. And so you get to put just a few little stamps on the meeting when you're the program chair. For me, it's after hours and the run, the 5K that we talked about, but also these podcasts and highlighting all the work, all the great work that you guys have done that, let's see, it's you guys, it's the Curious Clinicians, it's our health, our ARR health, and the ICU Ed and Toddcast. And each of those will have a slot on one of the mornings where they will literally record a live podcast. And so I'm super I'm hoping I can make it to all of those sessions because I love listening to all of those podcasts and it's just going to be awesome. So yeah, I'm a podcast junkie. That's why we're doing it.
I love it. That makes three of us at least. Sandy, I don't know if you are
Me
as well. Maybe
too.
it makes four.
I'm getting there, and I would say this is really certainly. I think Gabe's really made like how it's. This is certainly Gabe. This is your stamp on the chess 2024, and I realized as you were saying, like our we all consume information in many diverse ways, and I think podcast is such a great way to do that. I am as well looking forward to attending as many of these as I can.
Yeah, we're super excited. Maybe we'll cold call you guys on our live podcast to weigh it. Sandy, you already started to mention a keynote speaker. Some people who are going may have not had a great chance to read the program yet or prepare. Could you guys just talk a little bit about the plenary sessions or the keynote speaker and what people have to look forward to from those great talks that are coming up?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
Vanessa Carey is at the Sunday morning at the opening session. And she does a lot of work with the WHO around climate health. She's based there in Boston. She's a critical care trained physician and gives terrific talk on really the way climate health currently affects pulmonary health, but also ways to think about it from the standpoint of being a pulmonary physician, also being an advocate for lung health.
That's amazing. Yeah, I'm very much looking forward to that. I think I've seen that she's given talks around Boston before that I've never been able to make it to. And so this is definitely one that I'm planning to be on and have marked down in my calendar already.
And I'm excited to hear that too. And I think the opening session's always is my favorite to go to, and it'll be great to hear that. In terms of other sessions, I think there's a series of honor lectures that are slated. Certainly, I'm going to try and attend as many as I can. I think they are non-competing, so they're all spaced out. So that should be good. But I have to look back and see. I don't want to speak without reviewing each and every one of them.
So
In terms of sessions, one that always puts a smile on my face is the Pardon the Disruption. I don't know if you've attended that before, but Dave Schulman hosts that and does a phenomenal job. And I think just if you want to just have a good fun, but also educational session to attend that's so different than others, I would definitely recommend that.
Yeah, those both sound amazing. And I have not been able to make that one either. So definitely putting it on the list for this year. And I think thinking that Gabe, I think when he joined us last year too, I think we just commented on like how you can plan and program so many wonderful sessions that really do span adult and pediatric pulmonary critical care and sleep medicine. And really also though get diverse speakers. I'm just wondering though, if you and Sandy want to comment on how do you make sure that you're getting a diverse panel of speakers and that are representing both things that are done, locally, nationally, as well as internationally?
Yeah, when you're program chair, so first of all, program chair, your job is herding cats and really putting together a good team of folks to put the meeting together because the program chair doesn't put together the meeting. The program chair just sets the tone and guides a little bit. And so the way this works is that there are different curriculum committees and curriculum chairs that really guide the different content areas. And I have to give a ton of props to those people because really the meat of the content of the meeting comes from a lot of work from these curriculum committees that happens really starting and Sandy will be doing this starting at the end of this meeting through about January is when a lot of the work happens. So a lot of the work that I did for Chess 2024 in Boston in a week or so happened almost a year ago. And putting together this this terrific meeting is a real team effort. And so I have to give a ton of props to all the people on the curriculum committees, but also the chess staff. Truthfully, like when I was asked to be program chair, I was quite nervous because what do I know about putting on a meeting for over 5,000 people? But the fact of the matter is the staff do almost all of it. They literally make it so easy so that me as a program chair, the folks on the curriculum committees can really focus on the content of what's going to be there. And that's awesome. And so we focus on making sure that each of the sessions have a diverse panel, both diversity in gender, diversity in background, diversity in institution, right? So we don't love sessions that are 5 people from Indiana University, for example. And we pay close attention on the program committee to making sure that's the case. And a lot of work goes into that by all of us. And I think that's where you see the terrific output that you'll see in Boston.
I've seen the work that's gone into it this last year, and it is a daunting task to be a program chair, but it's such a pleasure, and it's all the hard work that people around you that are doing. I want to put a plug in the call for sessions for 2025
It's already
will
there.
be.
Yeah.
Sorry, I lost my. Can you still hear me?
Yeah.
Yes, we can. Yeah, it always sneaks up on you. It's right after the conference time to start putting it in for the next one.
Yeah, so the call for sessions is going to open up very soon. And I just want everyone who comes to attend, all the attendee speakers, actually, the best time to start thinking about topics is right after chess, because you know things that you saw that you liked, you want to see again, and also things that you thought should be there that may have been missed. And then as you're starting to think, as these topics are forming in your mind, just think about diversity. And we want diversity from the submitters too. So we want as many people to submit as we want. And there's really a lot of consideration and careful review that goes in as these proposals are reviewed by the curriculum committees. And that's how I started with CHEST, was started with submitting proposals. Please do that.
Yeah, and
I
I'll
love
add
that.
that, like, I'll just add that a lot of people are always wondering, like, how do I get involved? How do I? The fact of the matter is that you get involved by submitting sessions. That's a really easy way to get involved, because the worst case scenario is your session doesn't get accepted. But then you have a session for the next year and you've been through the process and you understand it. If you're a young person, if you're a junior faculty member, or even as a fellow who's getting ready to finish, and you're going to chest, keep an eye out for the areas or the sessions that you think we're missing this year, because I'm sure that we missed some stuff, or things that you think would be cool for next year, and use the meeting to figure out other faculty members who could be on this session with, right? So people who do this right are planning for 25 during the meeting in 24. Hey, I might put together a session on, I don't know, AI in the ICU. I have some good people on this. Would you be interested in talking about this with me? This is the way that it happens. Don't be afraid to, as soon as the meeting's over, turn around and submit a session, whether it's your first session or 50th session.
As I say, I love that. I was just recently talking with a fellow who's fantastic, and we were just talking about additional skills and content areas that he wanted to focus on through the remainder of his fellowship training. And I was like, you know what? We should probably let's reconvene in 2 weeks, because he's going to chess for the first time, and he's going to be on the training working group. And I was like, you're going to be so inspired by like the people that you're meeting, the sessions that you're going to, and that's just going to give you like inspiration to think about things going forward. But I couldn't agree more, right? I think everyone gets invigorated after they leave the conference. So I'm sure others share that as well. And one thing I do want to mention too that I really appreciate, in myself getting to be on the training and transitions committee, is really highlighting the ability of trainees to be involved and also have the ability to plan things. And I think one of the things that I think is also unique from Chest is really having a training lounge where trainees across the nation are working together to come up with their own programs and working with faculty to staff that. And first, Gabe and I are going to be doing a social media one, I know, on Tuesday morning as well. But it's truly driven by trainees who have a specific interest and are reaching out to faculty. And I know there's so many faculty that want to help. So it's just another, I think, amazing opportunity that CHEST offers to not only trainees, but to early career faculty members as well.
Christina, it's funny. The trainee lounge, actually, I was on the training and transitions network before it was a committee when we developed the trainee lounge in 2000 and I don't know, 10 or something. That tells you how long I've been around. But boy, it's been one of the best additions to the meeting, because there's a lot of trainees at this meeting. When you're in a room and you look around, there's probably 30 or 40% of the people in that room are trainees. So, if you're a trainee going to your first one and you are not the only one there. You're not the only one who's there at their first meeting. There are a ton of people in the same boat, and just keep that in mind. To me, it helps to relieve some of the tension.
And I
Yeah.
must say, every time I look at some of these sessions that are presented in the trainee lounge, and boy, I wish I was a trainee, because I would love to attend them. There's some really cool sessions that are given there.
Definitely. Yeah. The more that we can be supporting everyone and addressing the concerns and needs that they have, it's wonderful, especially that it's programmed by them. I think that's a great transition to the final question we had for you guys. Christine and I get a ton of questions, both from local mentees, but also from people who get in touch with us from Pulp Peeps of what's the best thing to do at a conference? Can I come up and say hi to you? Which we always say, yes, of course. Please come say hi to introduce yourself. I think there have been some great pearls throughout this episode. I know Christina mentioned Gabe's advice to go introduce yourself to 3 people. We could go to the trainee lounge. We could make sure we go to all these nighttime events and meet people. But if there's any other specific advice you have for people, anyone attending the conference, but particularly our young trainees, or if there's their first conference, we'd love to hear it. I'll put my plug in that if you are a trainee and you're there and you're at a poster session, like you're giving a poster, or if you are looking for something to do and you want to go attend the poster session, go up, see them, go introduce yourself to those people. Those are going to be your colleagues and your contemporaries around the country in the next 5, 10, 15 years. And it's very possible that the poster they're presenting there is a manuscript that they publish in a year or two that you get to collaborate on the next step with. And make sure while you're coming up and meeting all these people that are giving great talks, that you also meet your contemporaries, because they're going to be with you for the next many years. Sandy, Gabe, other things to add for our trainees?
Yeah, no, I think I just remember this just being so excited to attend my first chess meeting, and but also feeling a bit overwhelmed because there was so much and there was no roadmap on what to attend first. So I would say take some time if you have time, which I don't think fellows have that much time in fellowship, but if you have some time, just take some time to review the content, review the schedule, see what you want to attend. Networking, great opportunity to network, attend sessions that you enjoy. The games are really fun, a game-based education, but then also have fun, enjoy, make sure you enjoy all that the meeting has to offer outside of just classroom sessions, and then just enjoy just being immersed in this experience. I think just the immersion, the immersive and innovative educational experience that you get, I hear such great feedback from our fellows after they've been to CHEST, and they really do feel a part of it. So just go, let the meeting give you your best experience in education.
And I'd say I'm going to start. I'm going to go chronologically and start right now, even before the meeting's happening, a week or two before the meeting. There are things you can be doing right now to prepare. Number one, if you haven't signed up for the 5K, you should sign up for the 5K. You'll be able to sign up on site, but go ahead and register. Number two, Chest After Hours will be a ticketed event, and they probably will sell out. So if you want that, check out Chest social media, because they've put the RSVP link there. So you can go ahead and sign up to get your name on the list to go to Chest Challenge. There's a ton of sim courses and simulator sessions. Those are ticketed sessions. A lot of those sell out early. A lot of them are very difficult to get, or almost impossible. Actually, a lot of them are sold out by the time the meeting happens. So if you want to do any of those, you should be signing up for all of those now. Sandy mentioned going through the app and looking at the program. That's a great thing to do on the plane on the way there. The app is terrific. You can go through and literally just mark stuff so that your itinerary is there. You don't have to think about it. You do it on the plane, and then you can just go and you pull it up the next day and say, okay, this is what I wanted to go to on this day. And then while you're there, yes, go attend the sessions you want to attend, the speakers who did a good job and who you're like, wow, that's a really cool area. I love that area. Go up and introduce yourself and say hello. It's not awkward that you're asking people to talk about themselves. They're human beings. They love to do that. You'll sometimes exchange phone numbers, email addresses, etc. And then down ideas for next year's meeting, and get ready to submit for next year's meeting in Chicago, because it's coming up straight away. It's going to be awesome.
That's all fantastic advice. I love that. This has been a great conversation. This is a cool episode. It's a little bit of a two-part. Next, I'm going to talk to Huzaifah Salat. So he is a recent graduate. He finished fellowship 2 years ago. He actually helped us organize our preview episode last year. I don't think he was able to make it to WISE, but he's coming to Boston to CHEST. And I'm going to talk to him about how he's preparing to come to the conference. So we'll go into these things a little bit more specifically. And if you're interested, then just stay tuned. We're going to go to that in just a second.
Cool. Some great tips and points from Gabe and Sandy today. Excited to see everyone in Boston coming up October 5th through 9th. Excited to see my best chess buddy, Furf. Good to see you in about a week and a half. But so many things to look forward to.
Yeah, absolutely. Cannot wait. Cannot wait to see everybody in Boston. Definitely reach out. Definitely come by and say hi to us. And yeah, we'll see you in just a few days. Thank you again, Gabe and Sandy. We know you're incredibly busy leading up to this conference and probably all the time, but we really appreciate you both taking the time to come on the show.
Thanks a ton for
Thank
having
you.
us.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks so much. This was a lot of fun. See you all in Boston.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Hey, everybody. So, we are going to dive into the second portion of this episode. I'm going to be talking to Huzaifah Salat. He is a consultant pulmonologist and intensivist at Advocate Aurora Health in Wisconsin. He is a young faculty. He completed his pulmonary critical care fellowship at University of Oklahoma Health Sciences Center 2 years ago. He actually helped Pulm Peeps coordinate with CHEST for our preview session last year and for this year. And so it's great to have you back on the show, Huzaifah.
Thanks, Dave. Pleasure to be back.
So we just had a great conversation with Gabe and Sandy about all the amazing things at CHEST 2024 and about how people can prepare. And so we want to know how somebody who has got some activities at CHEST is preparing and coming to the conference. Why don't you start by telling us some of the things you're doing at CHEST this year and what you're looking forward to?
Yeah, absolutely. First year as a faculty member attending CHEST is like a different ball game because you previously have, oh, I have to meet this, I have to present this case conference, that case report, attend that talk. But as faculty, you're like on the other side. So some things that I'm doing this year. So I was lucky enough to be invited to the educator masterclass. So this is a session that's happening the day before CHEST kicks off on Sunday. So it's an invite only, but it was like available, like I think 60 seats were available. So that was something that I was able to join and thankfully be accepted into. So first word for advice is like just keep your eyes and ears open because there are like opportunities like this that just come out. There's like a leadership course that CHEST is having the day before as well. So many things that are happening just aside from the conference itself. So that's number one. Number two, CHEST was kind enough to invite me for being a moderator. So being on the other side this year from presenting case reports to now actually moderating them and judging them. So super stoked for that. And this is my first year as a CHEST faculty mentor as well. I think I've been paired with the resident or the first year resident. So I'm like, whoa, people are like first year resident coming to CHEST. I'm like, that's bar very high.
That's wonderful. Yeah, those are all such great advice to be aware of the cool sessions that happen. Even if you missed out on a session this year, next year they might have it and you could apply early and get in on one. And you might still be able to make it into some of these cool sessions if you're listening now and the conference hasn't started yet. The moderating sessions is one of my favorite things to do. You get to meet so many people and hear about all these great presentations that they have. Good luck with that. It's very fun. And then, yeah, that you mentioned another thing that we actually didn't touch on, which is that the CHEST has this faculty mentor program. And if you're interested in establishing with a mentor and meeting someone who's maybe outside your institution, someone you wouldn't have known, this is an opportunity that's available for you. Both encourage people to sign up as trainees who want mentors and mentors who want mentees. That is awesome. Aside from preparing for your sessions, which I'm sure you are very diligently, how do you go about sifting through what's going to happen at the conference, deciding what things you're going to attend and where you want to spend your time?
No, that's a great question. So I remember as a fellow, I was like, oh, I'm happy to attend this session. And then there's another parallel session happening at the same time, like two floors down from me. And it was like you have that FOMO that you're going to fear of missing out. But I think having attended CHEST for 2 years, so I think now it's like more focused. So I really like lung nodules and advanced bronchoscopy and all that stuff. So this time around, I'm going to be focused more on that. So all the robotic stuff, all the biomarker stuff. So Chess does a very good job in making sure you have some tracks that you can do on the website, like a trainee track where they tell you all the good sessions that are trainee focused. So I'm excited to delve into that. I already have two hard copies of the agenda in front of me. Whenever I get some time, it's likely going to be on the flight over. I'm going to highlight the heck out of it and get to my sessions.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, that's a good use of the flight time for sure. And as you pointed out, it is really nice that they set up these tracks and sessions, try to make things more accessible. We talked about that with Sandy. If you are not sure what you're interested in, just dabble. If you know what you're interested in, then maybe you can pick up on one of these tracks and really get some good exposure. That's all great advice. Any other sort of parting words of wisdom that you would give to especially trainees coming to CHEST, maybe people coming to CHEST for the first time?
Yeah, so I think one thing is that just try to meet new people. You'll see people from students all the way to senior leadership at the conference, and feel free to rub shoulders with people. You'll be amazed at how humble leaders and those who we think are on high posts are, and how easily approachable they are. I remember one of the program directors at Cleveland Clinic. I was in touch with him, Ren Ashton, since like residency, just getting and touching base with him. And then I met him at Chest like 2 years ago, and he was super cool, and remembered that we had interacted back when I was applying for fellowship. So that, and I think number two is like the stalls that are available. There's so many games that are going on. Like I know, I think I forget his name, or one of our chess leaders. He organizes this like gaming session that is like super cool, and you win a ton of gift cards. I think I won $100 worth of gift cards last time I attended. It's good pocket change as well if you do a good job and if you have your knowledge correct. And of course, don't miss out on all the interaction. There's so much going on, so many opportunities to learn the robotics, all the new technology. So just be a sponge at the conference, and don't be overwhelmed, and just enjoy your time.
Yeah. Oh, that's all very good advice. I love it. I'm looking forward to seeing you in Boston. I hope that your trip goes well getting in and that all your sessions go great. And then we get to touch base.
Sounds like a plan, Dave. Thanks again for having me.
Absolutely. Thank you all for listening. This episode was written, edited, produced by myself and Christina Montemayor. The music's original music by Eric Rogers. And we'll see you next time. Okay, cool. So let me.